So I woke up this morning, and usually in the mornings I try my best to meditate. I got up, I picked my meditation, and the topic was self-trust. In the middle of my meditation, there was a part that said that one of the trickiest but the most important relationships that we will ever have is the relationship with ourself. And during that moment, an image popped into my head. And so I figured I'd bring you guys along and take you through from the moment of inspiration to actually making that idea come to life. But one of the most important things that has to be said first is that you have to pay attention to those little ideas. They're tiny, little, insignificant, or at least at the time, they seem insignificant. But if you follow them, it's so rewarding just to make something that you thought of and that you conceived in your mind a reality. And it also helps to strengthen you as an artist. So let's talk about the image. On one side of the image, I saw myself, very prominent, very clear, and that's my physical, my outward self. And on the other side of the image, I saw this kind of blurry, almost like our mental projection that we see of ourselves in our mind. And between the two, there's this blurring of each other because they are both connected. So this is the image that I set out to create. And I'm gonna bring you guys along and show you my setup, the settings that I had in order to make this picture happen, and anything that I encountered during the way, and then also the final image to see, was that close to what I envisioned in my head? So let's go for it. So here's the setup that I've got going on. I have my Canon 5D Mark IV on my tripod, and then in this case I have two different lights with a plain background. One of which is an Digibee Digibee 800, and the other is a Flashpoint R2 hot shoe flash. Both of these flashes have Softlighters on them for the modifiers. You don't necessarily need the two lights, but where things get tricky is you need to balance the mix of ambient light with your strobe in order to get that cool blurring effect with the clearly defined portion of the photo. So I'm using my Digibee modeling lamp to give me some available light here in my garage because it's pretty dark. But I'm also using my Flashpoint strobe in order to give that pop of light to freeze me at the point that I want. I'm also triggering the flashes with my Flashpoint trigger, which I'm holding in my hand as I'm taking the photo and simply pressing the test button when I reach one side of the frame. So the strobe is what accomplishes that clearly defined portion, and your ambient light mix is what accomplishes that blurry effect in the photo. Also, I set the tape markers on the ground to indicate where my start and stop points are within the frame. In order to get focus, I'm manually focusing my camera, and I simply put an object in where the tape markers are, pre-focused, turned to manual focus so that way the focus was locked, and then set my camera on a timer. So I took a couple of test shots knowing that I needed a long shutter speed to accomplish this, and here are those test shots. Based on those test shots, that's how I came to my current settings, which are now at 6 seconds, ISO 200, and f8 for my aperture. And so here's my final image that I got from this photo shoot. If you guys have any questions about the equipment or the settings that I use, feel free to drop a comment down below. And if you liked the video, please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and check out my other photography work on my Instagram in the description. Lastly, if you guys tried this photo or a version of this photo, I'd love to see what you came up with, so feel free to tag me on social media. This is The Authentic Journal, an exploration and journey into those things that we feel and how to navigate them wholeheartedly.